the channel. Hey, I got a little project today that I'm going to try, and my C6 Corvette, for those of you that have experience with or that own a C6, this might help you out if you're experiencing that little airbag light that's on your dash all the time. Hopefully I'm going to be able to fix that once and for all, because for the last several months I've been jiggling wires and unplugging and replugging and doing that whole 9 yards to try to get that light to go off and stay off. And so far I've been unsuccessful. Like I said, every time the seat moves back and forth, the light will come back on. The reason being is the plugs that connect it all together drag on the carpet, pulls on them, and they don't make as great of a connection as they probably could. So I'm going to try to rectify that, hopefully. If not, I still have the warranty that I can take my car in and have them fix it. I read the service bulletin, I looked at the pictures that went along with it. That includes a lot of splicing wires and a lot of cutting. I'm not a big fan of splicing wires because once they're open to the air, then we all know that corrosion can begin. And so, not saying anything bad about the GM techs, it's just that I would rather use that as a last resort if I can. So hopefully we can get this fixed and move on with our lives and not have to worry about it. And if it works for me, it should be simple enough that any of you can do it as well. So let's see what happens. Okay, so when I talk about the airbag light, I apologize for the noise, it was getting a little bit loud. But when I talk about the airbag light, this is the light that that is what is on when you see that, and it's basically on all the time. So hopefully you can see that. It's that little light right there. And so the idea behind what we're going to do is try to fix it. Okay, here's what I got to use for the project. I've got my body tools, the plastic ones. I got these ones at Harbor Freight. I think they were $6 or $7. I have another set that's a little bit thinner, a little flimsier. But I saw these in there the other day, and I thought, you know what? These are a lot more rigid than the ones that I have. And I don't use those very often, so having those is kind of a nice thing. And plus having the ones that are just in a little bit better quality. I do shop at Harbor Freight quite a bit, so my main reason is the tools that I buy there I don't use often enough to justify spending 3 or 4 times as much on the same thing. And if it breaks while I'm using it and I have to go get another one, I'm still not out the same amount of money. But I know it's kind of counterintuitive, but I like their products. I think they do a great job with what they've got. I've got my electric impact. I've got my 3/8 drive adapter. I've got a 15mm socket, and that's to pull the seat bolts out. I've got 2 of the zip ties just in case I need those to zip tie anything back together or back in place. I do have a lot more of them if I need them. The dielectric grease is what I'm going to put on the terminals, because I think that where those terminals go together, putting the dielectric grease on there will make sure that they don't corrode, and when you get a good solid connection, it's going to keep the connection. I haven't done that before, so I'm hoping that this fixes it. And then I've got a couple of Q-tips to apply the dielectric grease on there. I've got these 2 boards right here, and they're going to slide underneath the seat rails once I lift the seat up out of the way so that I can get to the wiring harness. And so these 2 boards should move everything out of the way enough that it'll give me the access that I need. So that's what I've got. I think that's all I need. If I need something else, then I'll explain it when I have to go dig for it. So again, it's time to get this project hopefully finished. Alright, let's go ahead and knock these bolts out. Those both out of the way. Seat all the way back. And what the wiring harness is, the reason the light comes on is this side airbag right here is that's inside the pocket here is what the wiring goes to, and underneath is where it hooks on the seat with the harness, hooks on the carpet, excuse me, and that's what pulls apart. But when that connection there isn't strong enough, or the computer senses a fault, it disables the airbag system, because this airbag right here and that wiring that goes underneath down to there. Sucker all the way to the back. That's the little clippy-do that holds the seat cover in the way. Twist it out of the way. Oh, that's right. That one pops over the front. Okay. Yeah. Slide out of the way. Slide out of the way. With the clips. Hey, you start pulling stuff apart like that, and you find other places that you couldn't get a vacuum into, and it's dirty. That's it for those. You do not have to take the seat belt off of the seat in order to get to this. So. So, put that board underneath that one. Let me see, I might be able to get away with putting the board under just that one side. Alright, let me move the camera so I can show you what we got going on. Alright, hopefully I'm pointing it in the right direction. This is the harness that goes to the airbag. Notice the yellow. I think that yellow, based on what the service bulletin said, that's what kind of codes the airbag. So what I'm going to do is pull these clips out, pull it apart, and then go ahead and put on the dielectric grease on the terminals, plug it back in, and hopefully it works without blowing the airbag up in my face. So anyway, that should be that. Let me get going on this one. I'll get the camera set up so hopefully we can see what's going on while I'm doing it. Okay, we're back, and after a little bit of trying to figure out how to get the cameras to line up where I wanted to, when I lifted the seat up, I discovered that this whole plug wasn't attached to the bottom side of the seat, and so we're going to make sure we do that when we put it back together. But at the same time, this is kind of where it all goes. So I'm going to pull out those blue clips that are supposed to help keep it together, and then we're going to pop this bad boy apart. I got to remember how they come apart, so bear with me. See if I can do this without breaking a clip. So now the top part comes out of there. Come on. Come on, work with me. There we go. There we go. And so basically there's what we've got. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit each of these little tabs in the center there with some dielectric grease, and then pop it back together. And I might, not sure, but I might wrap a zip tie all the way around the whole thing too, and then see what that does. Hopefully it'll do what we need it to do and give us good connection, and it'll stop the whole thing from going off anymore. There's the bottom side of that plug that plugs into the seat, and that harness kind of runs up in underneath, and it comes up to the airbag up there. So, all right, there we are. Let me go grab a little bit of dielectric grease, and we'll dab this thing and put it back together. Okay, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I do have just a small dab on the end of the Q-tip, and it doesn't take much. Just a little dab will do you. Make sure I got enough on there. And those don't look corroded. They look good. But that should be it. Set that over there. And make sure the sides go back to the sides they come out of. Should be that. The airbag didn't blow up in my face, so that's probably a good thing. And so we'll lock that clip back in there, and we'll lock that clip back in there. Nope, I got that one backwards, I think. Not that it makes a whole lot of difference, but there is kind of a way it seems like it goes. I guess I could have paid better attention when I pulled it apart, but anyway, that's that. That clip is back together. And I'm going to have to pull that out because it's not going to want to go there. So, nope. Problem that I ran into is I kind of overlapped that clip a little bit right there, and so that's not going to want to go that way. So how about we spin it around the back side and spin that one around the back side, and now the clip is out of the way and everything else. Everybody happy. And then there's a seat bar back up here. Clip that back on there. So that is all there. So it should be back together. Should be good. Hopefully everybody's going to be happy, and we'll see what happens. Okay, we got the seat back in. It's bolted back down. Of course, it's torqued to the proper specification, which is about 6 ugga-duggas. And that's that. The floor mat is back in. Haven't tested it to see if the light's on or not. Probably do that here in a few minutes, and I'll let you know what the outcome of that one is. So hopefully it's fixed. Hopefully life is good and we can move on about our day. Alright everyone, well, looks like problem solved. Let's hope so. I went ahead and started it up. It went through its normal phase of several, I think it's 5 or 6 times that the light flashes before during the startup. Once it starts up, once it went through that sequence, it shut off and didn't come back on. I went ahead and went seat forward and back all the way to both stops several times. Still didn't come back on. Bounced around in the seat, lifted myself up out of the seat, and all kinds of things just to try to get it to cycle through and possibly come back on again, and it did not. So with any luck, it's fixed. Let's hope so. It's always nice when you can fix something yourself. And again, YouTube is a fantastic resource for videos. Pay attention to what people are doing. Chances are you can do it yourself if you have the basic abilities, the basic mechanical abilities, and some simple tools. Like I said, some of the tools that I buy I don't spend a lot on. Some of the tools I buy I do spend a lot on. The ones that you're going to have for a long time, spend the money on them. The ones that are not going to be used very often or for a one-time project, don't be afraid to buy something a little bit less expensive. if you know that you're only going to use it 1 or 2 times, and some of the tools that I bought that I've spent a little bit of money on, I still have them, and I've had them for 10 or 15 years. So they're not necessarily all bad, but they all serve their purpose. Again, thanks for watching my channel. I really do appreciate it. Again, if you like my videos, please give them a like. And if you or somebody you know is interested in this type of content, ask them to subscribe. Or if you've got other friends that just like watching YouTube videos for what it is, because there's a lot of people out there that I'm finding enjoy just watching YouTube videos, watch it through rather than TV and things like that, because there's a lot of content out there, and a lot of it is very entertaining and a lot of it is very educational. So again, I thank you for watching my channel. Please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and thanks for watching. I'm not a golfer, trust me. Have a great day.